Hey there, this is Dana Arcuri, author, speaker, and wellness advocate, and today is my first video for 2019, so I want to wish everyone a very happy new year. Many people start the new year with resolutions, with goals, with big dreams and aspirations, and some people like to include a theme word. I consider it a powerful word or a phrase that is uplifting, that's motivational, sometimes inspirational, but it's something to remind us every day, especially on the hard days when things aren't working out. It reminds us of what we're doing, of our purpose and what we're striving for. You know, for some people, they're focusing on their health and their healing, and some people are focusing on their diet and nutrition, and other people are, gearing up for some fitness. Others are really looking at other things like relationships, making some major changes in their relationships or in things within their own self, maybe some inner cleaning or doing some kind of detox. For everyone, it's different. But today I wanted to share a little bit about my theme word and to share what it means to me and to inspire you to consider this also, and to also come up with your own theme word, because it's very personal and it's something that has to be meaningful for us and everything surrounding our lives, our interests, and what can really improve ourselves. So for me, I started thinking about my theme word in 2018. So at the very end of the year, around November, I just really felt compelled with the word release. And so I started thinking about it and questioning, what does this mean for me? What does the word release mean? And so I wanted to share a little bit about release, and then I'll carry on with the rest of the power word, which is really more of a phrase for me in 2019. So release. In the Dictionary of English Language, the word release is defined as to set free from confinement, restraint, or bondage, released from prisoners. So it's basically, when you're looking at maybe a word picture the butterfly. Before it really gets to flourish and before it really gets to soar and go, to the sky as far as having no limitations, it starts off as a cocoon. So in a way, we could look at release as it's a cocoon and it's in this metamorphosis stage where then it will fully turn into and transform into this beautiful butterfly, in which then it soars into the sky forevermore. And so that's one way to look at the word release. Another way is through dictionary.com. They define release as to free from pain, to free from obligation, to let go, to free from anything that constrains you. So pretty much release means to no longer be held back, which then brings me to, if we're looking at freedom and we're looking at no restraint, then we have to start looking at, well, what is preventing me from freedom? What is preventing me from being held back? And like you probably know in your own life, you have times where you have obstacles and you have opposition. Sometimes it's nothing to do with you. It could be things that you have no control over, like your boss, like he's not giving you a raise, or like your family. Hey, we don't pick and choose our family. We're born into our family, and sometimes it is not fun. Other times we could look into things such as, are we holding our own selves back? Do we have some form of false beliefs? Maybe something that could even be generational. We're born into a family that has these false beliefs, or that raise us and bring us up in this toxic, dysfunctional lifestyle to believe things that are deceptive, that are not true, that are actually keeping us in bondage. So I know it's like heavy and deep thinking, but it's something to consider, and especially for me, because the word release was definitely confirmed. That is my theme word for 2019. But as I was really drawing near to January. And I'm thinking, okay, what is all about this word release? I felt that God was giving me a full phrase, and the phrase is release and heal. It's not just a one-step process, it's a two-step process, which really had me digging deep, going into those layers after layers after layers of things that I do know are holding me back. There are certain people that might be toxic in my life. There might be certain situations that I'm not happy with. There might be also circumstances that I don't have control versus circumstances that I do have control. And I have to take it all in, and I have to analyze it. I have to inspect it. I have to examine it and determine for myself, how do I go from there, which would have been like the end of 2018, into the future, which is now the present, 2019, which brings me to something which is a visual, which I love visuals, and so I want to show you this. This is the lotus flower. I love the lotus flower. It's been something that just keeps repeatedly showing up in my life. I don't know if you're into symbolism, but this is the lotus. As you can see right here, you know, the stem, and that the lotus is reaching out from the mud, and it's rising above the muddy, dirty soil, and it's reaching out to be strengthened, to rise above the obstacles that may be preventing it from being blossomed. And yet, every 3 days, it's blossomed. Every 3 days. This beautiful lotus flower does not let the mud and the mire and all the toxic things going on prevent it from becoming this beautiful, wonderful, free from all the mud and soil. When it blossoms, there are no stains. There is no mud. There's nothing preventing it from reaching its full capacity to blossom. And so that is like the beauty of everything I'm talking about, and everything to do with this year, in which my theme is release and heal. And so my symbolism is the lotus flower. Let's talk about the lotus. So like a lotus flower, we spring through the mud and the weeds and the junk trying to hold us back. We reach up through the darkness towards the sunlight, and we're stretching to the surface, where we will be strengthened, where we will be healed, where we will be released from the negativity that is trying to hold us back from being everything we were meant to be. And most positively, in a very wonderful fashion, we will be blossomed. We will reach new heights in the year of 2019. I'm standing on it. I'm believing it. And I really want you to consider finding yourself something tangible that you could see with your eyes or even hold in your hands, something you could visualize that is a symbol of what your year 2019 will be. Consider coming up with a theme word. Now, this is personal. It could be something, that I haven't even talked about for you. It could be totally different. Some people are focusing on dream vacations. Some people are focusing on reducing their pain levels. Other people are looking to find themselves a new purpose, a new meaning in life. Some people really need to make changes that might not be easy, that might take a lot of work, a lot of persistency, consistency, determination, and perseverance. But we have to understand that if we want to be the lotus flower, and we want to rise above the dirt and the weeds and all the junk keeping us from blossoming, then we have to consider doable ways, realistic ways. I mean, obviously we have to be realistic, but for me, it really meant taking a look back. And so for some people, they're like, whoa, don't go back there. Don't look back there. Don't look back there. And the reason why is a lot of people, they don't want to look at the junk. They don't want to look at like the divorce. They don't want to look at the bankruptcy, the foreclosure. They don't want to look at the wicked withdrawals. You know, some of us have gone through some hell and back over medications. For you who may be new to my channel, you may not know, but I've been through the ringer over plenty of medications, in which I have lots of videos to share that, but I've been through hell and back. And so for those who are going through horrific experiences right now, especially with your health and with medicine, understand that there really is hope. There really is hope for healing. There is hope for starting over. You know, isn't that what the year is all about? The year is about starting over, having a clean slate. But sometimes for us to move forward into the new year, we have to look back. And the reason is this. What I discovered is that many times we have experiences, whether it's the childhood, the teenage years, or adult years, or all of it. We have some tragedies that have happened to us. We have some losses, we have some negative situations. Sometimes we have severe trauma. Some people have gone through natural disasters, such as those in California or Texas or Florida, with whether it's a hurricane, the forest fires and what have you. There are people who have lost family through death. There are people who have lost their life, just their purpose and their drive and their meaning and their passion and their health. And so many people are just battling survival. But for us to move forward, we have to take a look at what did we overcome? What did we experience? And to me, the whole point is this. If we rush ahead and we don't consider what we've been through, it's going to catch up to us. See, the truth is, you could try to outrun your past. You could try to forget your past. You could try to conceal all the fearful things and the negativity that have happened to you, but you can't outrun it. It will catch up to you. It will haunt you until you face it. We have to sometimes feel the yuck, the crappy places we've been, the messy places that we really don't want to revisit, but yet it's important to revisit it in order to heal. Sometimes even through like therapy. I mean, hey, I'm in therapy right now. No guilt, no shame to be talking about that. Sometimes we have to go to professionals to seek some help, to kind of just look outside the box when we get another person who kind of sees things in a very neutral way. They could actually see things sometimes better than we can, and they could kind of guide us. And maybe just temporarily, they are kind of like a guide for us, a little help along the way, assisting us to work through the healing journey of life. But the positive thing about looking back, so going into the messy places and facing up to it, and examining and exposing the darkness and just shining the light on the darkness. The positive, life-changing aspect is that it really helps us to understand what happened, to address what happened, to work through the deep, hard stuff, especially if it is trauma-based, and then to be able to move forward and go into the rest of the year 2019 with a fresh perspective, with a new approach, with a positive attitude, and with the willingness to continue to release whatever needs released in order to heal. And I think that is really crucial right now in my sacred journey that I'm going through. And that's why this lotus, the sacred lotus, has become such a big part of my journey. And I'm using it to spur me on to continue healing and moving forward and blossoming into the person I'm supposed to be. For you, what are you doing for the new year? Are you working through different things? Are you seeking some kind of positive change, any kind of health improvements? Do you have a power word, some kind of theme word or symbol that is just something very positive for you to focus on, to help you, especially during times where you might be struggling? If so, feel free to share, subscribe, and thank you for checking out my YouTube video. Have an awesome day.